we know this is going to be quite a powerful experience.
Let's move beyond the need of this darkness. These are very exciting times.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's think about them in a positive, exciting. In other words, don't be locked. That we move beyond religion into spirituality.
And so, good evening, and how wonderful it is to be here. And thank you. We thank you here from the spirit world, because we know how hard you are all working. You're working so hard with your energies, with your love, with your kindness. And we know and we appreciate from our hearts all the work that you light workers are doing. And I want to speak today, or this evening, about the springtime. I want you to feel and smell the energies of Mother Earth as they start to very, very gently come alive. No, Mother Earth never lets us down. Feel how she nurtures you and how she brings you love and life to the flowers and to the birds. And I want you to really, really feel, because I feel times, because you are so hurried in your lives, there's not time to hold them, to hold the flowers, to smell the flowers as they come in, to the snowdrops and the crocus and now the daffodils. Feel all that God has given you. And it is all done through love. Because without love, there would be no life. And you are all love, and you are all life. And I know that Anne wanted, particularly today, to talk of something that happened a couple of years ago when we were in Cheshire. And I know at the time it absolutely made no sense to her at all. But God makes and does mysterious things, and they are always ready for us when we are ready. And so 2 or 3 weeks ago, Anne started to look and see a blue gas flame, like a gas blue flame. And I wanted to help her a little bit with this. I want you to help all of you with this, because we know this is going to be quite a powerful experience. As the thoughts have come in, I know that Anne has struggled a little bit with this, and her energies have not been as they should. But that will start to get better. Now, the energy that we want to talk about is, as we say, the blue gas light type energy. And this now, I know, is going to be an energy to help you all in the times now when, although there is still a lot of dark energy around, there is going to be more dark energy, but it will subside very quickly. And as this energy starts to move through the darker shields, should we say, then you will start to feel more energy, be more positive, and to know that things are changing, and believe me, they are changing in many ways that you don't even know of yet. So I want you to hold this blue energy, and I want it to be in the centre of your, just above your third eye. I want you to visualise it, and I want you to feel it. Some of you will feel maybe very little, some of you may feel it quite powerful. This has been coming through for at least 2 years. There is more information to come through, but yet it hasn't been strong enough to bring it through for you. But I want you to know this energy is very, very important for you. So I want you to just stay for a moment, bathe yourself in this energy, feel it. I know as the time goes on, you will feel like spring. You will feel like new energies, because that's what is being created for you. And I want you to remember, in the stillness, as you start to say in the stillness, you will feel your energies coming calmer, gentler. Be able to feel your energies being able to cope a little bit better. And it's as simple as that. In the stillness, everything happens. Because everything happens in a very simple way. It doesn't need to be complicated. Work with the simple energies, yet powerful. And I am going to say thank you all for this. I know it is quite short and has been very tired. But I wanted to get this simple message out to you. To connect to this flame. A flame of energy and love and light. Flame. Of I am. So I will say good evening and thank you from my heart again for all the work that you are all doing.
So do you just visualise the blue flame? And when you say use it, how do you have any recommendations as to how it would be used?
Yeah, I mean the very first time we saw it, it was like a blue gas flame and like a bullet type thing, and that was it. I channeled it. We talked about it, and it must be 2, maybe a bit more years, and then over the last month. And again, possibly while I've not been so well, it started to come in. From, as you would say, nowhere, but of course it isn't nowhere because, you know, it's there all the time for us, isn't it? We just have to. So, but then the last 10 days, it become a knowing. A knowing that I have to talk about this and let you know.
You use it by trying to see it being projected to dark
just project
situations of a
Let's move beyond the need of this darkness, because I think the most important thing, the energy through talked about a couple of years. Well, this is the age of Aquarius that we're now in. Which is going to be an age of balance. And Allbeing has insisted through me that the only form of protection and positivity going forward in the age of Aquarius is balance.
Yes.
It's not about fighting the shadow or rejecting it. That's drawing it towards you.
Yeah.
Think in terms of balance and harmony, and let us all try to introduce in these countries, in various parts of the world, these 7 words of Allbeing. Peace, joy, love, unconditional love, of course, forgiveness.
Big one.
My goodness, isn't forgiveness important amongst some of these extreme Eastern religions, like the ISIS one? That's not solving anything. That's only aggravating the shadow. And we can't deal with that by fighting it. We can only deal with that.
This blue flame is the antidote.
The blue flame will become the antidote.
Yeah.
Well, there is a synchronicity here, as you would expect. Have any of you heard of Lars Mool?
Can you speak up a bit, please?
I don't want to shout into that because that's all it'll hear.
Lars
Lars Moule, a Danish spiritual teacher, he's written a book called The Seer, which is one of the finest spiritual books I've ever read.
The seer.
The Seer.
Yes. Last month.
Phenomenal. Absolutely, you can't put it down. And the Seer was talking about towards the end, around about the time you were, just about a week ago, wasn't it? He talked about the gas blue light.
And I thought, what's
And the
that?
golden light. And what he says is if you want to heal something or you want to change something, visualise the gas blue light changes at the physical level, and the golden light changes at the spiritual level.
These are very exciting times.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's think about them in a positive, exciting way, not in a gloomy way.
Because it's all about new energies, new springtime,
Absolutely.
and what we can do with those.
Freedom. In other words, don't be locked by the past.
Yeah.
Release it. Let it go.
Yes.
Well, as a spirit, we have free will
Yes.
of choice.
Yep.
We are not bound by some so-called God. Or this is why I think it's so important that we move beyond religion into spirituality.
Yes.
And spirituality is the only true way forward, because it encompasses all.
Everything. Yes.
I mean, I think there are different ways in which different people come into these things, but if you think about it, when a person has a physical problem, for example, that's on every level. It's on a mental level, it's on an emotional level, it's on a physical level, and it's on a spiritual level. So what one has to do is to look at the various levels and see where one needs to balance that particular level that's out of balance. And I think it's been a very interesting Christmas and time. I think we've been through quite a crisis,
Yes.
and we're now moving forward into the month of February, and shortly we shall be moving into the month of March, which I think is going to be even more important, because it's going to be giving us the chance to march forward in our own hearts, our minds, and our views on being. And I always thank Allbeing for giving the name Allbeing, because Allbeing said, from where I speak, I am neither masculine or feminine, but I am both. So it wanted to produce something that would not be blamed.
Yes.
We tend to blame the masculine in the Piscean age, and now the feminine is surfacing in the Aquarian age. We're starting to try and blame that. And yet all these things are important, and they are a part of being. Let me just hold it up. Now just feel the energy from the center of that symbol. Feel it filling every part of your being, inspiring you, allowing you to say, I'm not going to let these things put me down. I'm going to lift myself up and move beyond the need to be depressed, to be put down, to feel not good enough. The answer to these is not to suddenly become egotistic and say, I'm God, or anything like that. It's about acknowledging that lovely energy within that is there for all of us on a level that can get our intuition going, our awareness expanding, and suddenly seeing everything in a much wider context. And as I speak now, this is all being speaking through Tony. Thank you, Tony. And thank you, Anne. So, dear friends, this is a time for really moving forward, not allowing yourself to be trapped by the past. And remember, there's only one person to please, and that is yourself. So learn to trust yourself, love yourself, be yourself, own yourself, enable yourself. And the essence of the teaching that I have given through Tony, and in some ways I am also giving through Anne, is of that freedom of approach and how important it is. And as we enter the age of March, there will be some interesting challenges. One where various things, particularly as you lead up towards a general election in this country, what is it you hope to benefit from it? More money? More control? Or are you trying to find a high level of understanding, a higher level of forgiveness, and feel that that spiritual energy with you is not higher but finer? Remember that word, finer, so that the energy that you're getting and opening your heart and mind is not trying to drag you down or to pull you to pieces. It's enabling you to see everything on a more subtle level. And that is why I have introduced those 7 words. I cannot tell you how you should vote in the forthcoming election in this country. That would be manipulation. And that is the very last thing that I try to convey in the teaching that I have given through this sensitive. I do not manipulate, but I do try to enable you, each and every one of you, to begin to see everything in a new light, whether that light is blue or gold, or perhaps both. Remember, when we look at our chakric system, all the lights and colours are there. And that is why when I inspired this symbol through the other Anne, I included all the colours, not just the colours of the rainbow, but the colours that go to make up a whole concept of the country that we live in. And not just the country, but the whole planet. And every morning I am privileged to work with Tony and Anne. This Anne and the other Anne, if she wants me to.
Thank you.
And we look at the whole planet and think of that all-being energy being around it, covering every part of it. And then through the portals, where the North Pole is, into the centre of the planet and Gaia, to feel that inner energy of our planet. And then breathe it right in and feel that the energy that we are giving the planet is on all levels, and both in and out, out and in. So when we start to send people healing and balancing and enabling to suddenly see the whole planet on every level in a new light, a light that is sympathetic with our own level of being. And I'd like you to do that now. Would you mind doing that now? But I would like each one of you to look inside and outside and realize what a whole being you are. You're not trying to prove anything. You're trying to be inspired to open new portals of understanding. And the world needs that desperately from March onwards. It can be a time of new understanding on the whole planet. Where we move beyond the concept of slave labour, forcing people to do this, that, or the other. I do not do that. I merely offer you the energy that you can take if you wish and allow it to shine within and to shine without. When I look back over the life of this sensitive, and indeed of Anne Stewart, I realise how different energies have enabled them to move forward. Diana, in your case particularly, and remember, these are part of the whole. Thank you, my dear. It shows how even the simplest things in life can cause difficulties and problems. But you solved the problem and you've got it working again. That's the important thing. And that is what we can all do with our own spiritual guidance that is with each one of us. Feel it around you now. It's not there to tell you what to do. It's there to give you support and to be there to help you when you suddenly feel, which way do I go? And feel that lovely energy of your own guidance. Because each one of you has a spirit that is dedicated itself to being with you throughout the whole of your incarnation. Work on that. Breathe it in, feel it, shining within. Allow it to be the blue flame. I shall look forward to being and speaking through this sensitive, through Anne Neate, through Helena Park, at some of the workshops that are going to unfold during 2015. Remember, 2015 adds up to 8. So it's giving us the figure of 8 to deal with things that we don't need. Just do that figure of 8 that I know Tony, Anne and Helena teach, and indeed Chris as well. So I want this to be an evening of inspiration, positivity, and really looking ahead with a new understanding of yourself, of those around you, where you live, and the whole planet. It will not solve anything by condemning those in the Ukraine, in South Africa, Middle Africa. It's about balance. And that word, balance, is one that you need to say to yourself every day. In the age of Aquarius, it is the most powerful form of protection. And with those words, I'm going to leave the sensitive. But circle my energy around the group. Bless you all. So mote it be.